Good afternoon, Flosstube. It's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. I want to welcome everyone to my channel this afternoon. I'm so glad that you dropped by to visit with me. Last weekend when I left you, I was on my way. We were getting packed to take off to the coast of South Carolina for a weekend away at the beach. We had a great time. My daughter Jordan and her husband Drew, as well as my granddaughter Evie, joined us, but they went up the night before. And so my husband and I spent most of the day on the beach on Saturday, and they come a little later in the afternoon. You know, we didn't want the little one out in the sun too much. We lathered on the sunscreen, but I got sunburned in certain spots that were not underneath the umbrella. One of my arms and just the outside of my leg, I got a little more toasty than I intended, as well as I got sunburn on my lips. I had a sunscreen chapstick, but it was not obviously strong enough, or I didn't apply it as much as I should have, but I did get a little bit burned. But overall, that's the only negative to the weekend. We had a wonderful seafood dinner on Saturday night, right on the river there in the Edisto River, and we just had a great time. Very relaxing, great time away, and I look forward to our next trip. I took my stitching with me. I didn't stitch at all last weekend, and I've tried to make up for it this weekend. I have continued to work on my piece, which is, here we go, a Reflets de Soie. If you've watched my previous videos, this was a stitch along I started with my friend Christine last year, and we were doing it in shades of red. She has finished hers. I'm still working on mine. But as I said, I didn't stitch it all last weekend, but I tried to make up for it all last week and into this weekend. So let me show you my progress. I'm very happy with my progress for the week. It's going quicker than I thought. So when I left you last, I think I had worked up into here so I could get my placement for the outer bands. And then I just decided, oh, well, I want to work over to the corner. So I worked over to the corner and I worked on this. And now I'm really interested in getting this outer band done. So you can see I've started filling in a little more here so I can get the placement of this outer band here, or border. I keep saying band, I mean border. Outer border down here. And then I'm gonna come over. So this week I wanna focus on getting this corner and then moving over, or I may pick up and move over up here, we'll see. But I'm getting really close. What's making it go so fast, I do use a sewing method, which is some of it, but it's mainly just scroll work, because the major points of the stitching in here was more dense with stitching. But as you can see, this border is a solid color, so it's more like fill-in work. So it's easy to get that placement in. And what takes more time is this scroll work is 2 different shades of a darker red. And of course, there's one more inner border of the light. So it's moving a lot quicker than I anticipated. I will definitely have this finished this month, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to know I'm close to a finish on this. That will mean that everything I worked on last year, as far as new starts, will be completed with this one. So my 22 whips will be complete with this one. And I'm excited about that. But I was due to start a new stitch along with the same friend, Christine, on the 1st of August. I've been talking about it in my Flosstubes. August 1st come. I forgot all about it. The two of us were chatting on Wednesday, and she remembered to start. She was showing me an update picture, texting of what she had accomplished, and I had nothing to share. And then I'm like, I can't believe that I forgot it. Anyway, it's a hobby. It's not a job. I don't need to be hard on myself, but what I do plan to do this weekend, my plans were to either do at least a thread or do a letter a day. It is a Bristol sampler, and it is the Squirrel Bristol sampler. This is here. I'm sorry, it's in black and white. It's not easy to see, but I thought if I could do a letter a day. So I chose my red after a lot of back and forth, and I chose 817, which is a bright red. And then I had purchased this a couple of months ago from, there was a trunk show, not a trunk show, but a traveling shop that come to my local stitch group. And this is Atomic Ranch Fabrics. And the color is Dune, if you see. And this is how it'll look. Now, it is a 36 count fabric. And I will be stitching it 1 strand over 2 linen threads. The stitch count on this is going to be a big piece. The stitch count on it is 380 by 438. I'm thinking I will definitely be carrying this piece into next year as a whip, but I'm excited to get started. We planned this, I think last year, was it the year before last, to start this piece, and this year, this is our year. And so I'm happy to be stitching along with this with my friend Christine and working on it over the next year or so. So I will share that start, I'm sure, next weekend. What else has been going on? I've got a couple of pieces of haul in the mail. I did get another piece of fabric. I was just scrolling on Instagram one day this week, or last week, and I saw that there was a new fabric dyer, and it was Those Missing Stitches. She can be found on Instagram. And I ordered a piece from her. And did I say that right? Yes, Those Missing Stitches. Let me let you see it right there. Again, you can find her on Instagram. And this is a 36 count piece of linen called Darling David. And what you see is pretty true to color. I love this. It'll look great with a sampler at some point, but I'm glad to have this piece. So if you've not taken a look at her shop, I think she's on Instagram, and I think you can link from her Instagram page to her Instagram profile to her Etsy shop. Then I was watching Flosstube. I've watched a few Flosstubers this week, and one of them is Olivia B. She's been on Instagram as long as I have, and I think a little before. She is a wonderful sampler stitcher. She's easy to listen to and just as sweet as she can be. And I realized by watching her video that she now has a shop. Now, I don't know when she created it, but her shop's name is Hillside Rookery. If you love samplers, you need to check it out. So I will link her below, her Etsy shop, and I will link her Flosstube, and I will share with you what I got. This is my favorite designer, but it's one I do not have. And this is Old Crow by Lottie Da. You hold it a little closer. And it's on a lighter cardstock. And this is it. I can't show you that because that's the pattern. So it's a smaller pattern. Pattern is 88 by 66. So I look forward, but I'm thinking of doing that on like maybe Week Style Works Havana to make it pop a little more so that the colors will pop. But that fabric, I really love Havana. It's a very beautiful, deep, rich color. And I also purchased this one, which I may stitch on that fabric piece I got. So this one may be stitched on this. And this is a Mine Independent and Free. And this is by Carriage House Samplings. And I also picked up the thread pack. So let me give you this, show you these. It's just a few of the Needlepoint Incorporated silks, needlepoint silks. Look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous? And they just feel so good. So you have a brown, a black, a peach, a yellow, and a khaki color. Very pretty. And again, here's the piece. And I may be stitching it on this piece here. So look how those colors are gonna play off of that. I think it's gonna look great. And what else? There's a couple of pieces I had upstairs. I plan on moving. Upstairs is where I have my stitch room, and there for many, many months. I made my videos up there, and I really want to rearrange my framed pieces to match my current, put more current pieces that I've worked up there and that I've worked and framed. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I really don't like putting holes in my walls and I will make an exception, but I think that's what's holding me back a little bit. But I did get a different kind of nails. They're nails that I learned about from Carol Saltbox Stitcher, and I'm gonna give those a try and see if I like those. And when I do get everything worked, and it's not summer, so it'll be in the fall, I'll begin to film up there, because right now it just stays hot and during the day, unless it's maybe raining. So I tend to, in the summer months, I want to film down here instead of going up there and being hot. But anyway, so I'm up there rooting around, I'm looking at my threads, and I'm just digging through some of my stash. And I found these two pieces I've not shared because I bought these in the past year when I was not floss tubing. And these are pieces that were already framed. They are not stitched by me. I picked them up at a thrift shop, and I believe I picked this first one I'm going to show you. I'm going to take it out of the paper. Now, I brought up the framing and changing around upstairs because I haven't put this up there yet. I want to. I just need to make room for it. When I shared this one on Instagram after purchasing it, someone reached out and said they had stitched this in the 70s and they had it hanging in their kitchen. So you can see it's all tattered. I do want to take it out of its frame, reframe it, sand down the frame. I do want to paint it a different color because it's very much nicked. Do I have it upside down? No. It's very nicked, and I want to hang it upstairs. So it says in this kitchen, there's only one finger in the pot, and it's mine. So I'm assuming that this is one of the printed fabric pieces that you would stitch on, and it was early 70s. And I really love it. So I've even thought about putting it into my kitchen. I just don't have a lot of wall space. I do have some larger cross-stitch pieces, as well as some cross-stitch pieces up under my cabinet, so I'll have to find the perfect place, and but I'm thinking it's gonna go upstairs for now. But I also picked up another piece that I know that I can place right around my coffee pot. So this seems to be something that was cut out of another piece of fabric, another stitched piece, and it's just two ladies sitting down, putting the worlds to right while they have a chat and a cup of tea. And I just love that. And I will leave the glass in there when I put it in my kitchen, of course, so you don't want all the things that are in the air in a kitchen, the oils and things that are in the air when you're cooking to get on when you're stitching. So I will keep the glass when I put it there. But I just wanted to share those two with you. And then one other thing, I want to mention again the stitch along for this piece. I'm not ready to share the shop that will be assisting us yet. They're gathering the supplies so that when others want to join in to stitch this piece, everything will be ready for you. We're working on a discount for that kitted up, and this is October 31st by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this will be a stitch along that will start on October 1st with Mudpuppy Stitchery, which is Kenzie and me for this piece here. And once everything is ready, which I'm thinking no more than 2 weeks, I'll announce where you can find not only the chart, but they're willing to kit it up for you if needed, get the supplies, and possibly a discount code. So just hold on. We'll get that announced within the next couple of weeks here on my page as Flosstube, as well as Kenzie's. So just hold on to that. And for those that already have it, you're more than welcome to join in. I'd be happy to have you. But this is October 1st, again, by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm gonna stitch mine on the piece of fabric here, which is Ancient by Picture This Plus. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. Thanks for visiting with me, and I'll see you again next weekend. Bye-bye.